Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. We're back. We're looking at your presentation on intracorona restorations. And we were talking about if you're going to use comparisons, please use this layout. Okay. This is a slide. Let me show you the slide before because we were working on it and I might reproduce it in the video or re-edit it into the video. Okay, this is one of the slides that has a comparison, okay? So it's comparing direct versus indirect. The paper that did this comparison usually has it as a paragraph. We don't need it as a paragraph. We need it as points for us to understand, okay? The points usually are better placed for the direct and indirect in the same slide. So my mind could compare. For example, if I'm talking about time, this will go, I'll look at here and look at here. If it's about the technique, I'll look at here and look at here. If it's about the accuracy, I'll look at here and look here. So the way that my mind works with contrast is better. So how do I make this easily with the layout? If I go to the layout, and I choose this one. It's called comparison, by the way. Why is it called comparison? Because once I press it, I'll automatically have an area to write here for something and another area for here for another thing. And then I'll have titles. So I could put, for example, the indirect, I'll place it here. Okay. And the direct, I'll place it here. Let me first remove this text because it's considered it as a title. I'm going to just move this text into the text area and I'll place direct here, okay? And here we can leave it as comparisons. Okay. Going back to the end, that is not on my keyboard. Comparisons. This, yeah, okay, comparisons. Okay. So I will add some text here and add opposite to each one. Each point that I will be adding here, let me point them so we could see them. See what it did automatically? When you add the points, automatically it separated the first point from the second point. So this spacing is very essential to understand that these are different points. If you have them, even if the bullets are there, even if the point or the bullet is there, if they are connected in the same line or in the same text or direction, it will always have a problem that you will be seeing it as one paragraph, okay? So then I'll begin adding each point here, I'll have an opposite one here. So make sure that they are comparable and they are parallel, running parallel. Now, let's go to the slide, go back to the master slide or slide master. Automatically, what did it open? It opened the same layout that I've chosen for this slide that I'm working on. So this is the slide. Suppose I want this colored. I don't want it all in white. I could go and make a color of it. So what do? I go back to home and I choose a quick style for this. What style do I love it? Okay, let's suppose it's this. This is the one that I want to highlight. Sorry, this box, okay? I go here, quick styles, and I choose a style. Suppose I use this. I use a color that matches the slide theme or the one I'm using. Maybe this one because the text is clearer, okay? And I could put the second one with the same color or using a different color. Now, if the second color is in high contrast, it's not beautiful. Usually what people do to make it more professional, they either use the same color or a color close to it, okay? So you can identify that these are two different things, but in the same time, they're not far away from each other. This is not like showing off, okay? So now I can understand that this thing is different than this one. I go back, close my master slide. So this is slide master. I'm going to close it and see what I see. Okay, what I have. Now, you see the text here upwards and this is downwards. Do you know why? Because I have an enter here. If you want to see what you have added in terms of space and enter, there is one of the icons here. Oh, it's present in Word. It's not present in here. Well, you can see actually if you have a dot. But see, this one is upwards, downwards. I could remove the space that has been added or the enter, and it automatically goes back here. Suppose I don't want them here. I want them, how do I align the text? I want them at the top they go automatically to the top. If I want them in the middle, they go into the middle. If I want them in the lower part, they go down. Usually if you have colored boxes, keep the text in the middle, okay? Keep the references here. Now, what I said in the first time when I told you, when I opened the slide master, okay, if I'm going here, and this is the slide master, this is the which layout, this is the layout that has a comparison. Suppose I write something here, okay? I'm writing something here, and I close the master slide. Automatically, whenever I'm choosing this format, what will happen? It will always be appearing. The text will be appearing whenever I'm using this format, okay? Now, did it appear now? Let me show you anyway. Slide master. Okay, so this is the text. I'm going to choose a different color for it, for example, black. I'm going to increase the size. Let me see where did it go. Okay, go back to the slide master and close. It didn't appear. It usually appears consistently. Let me see it in the slideshow, if it appears in the slideshow. Nope, it did not appear. When we usually want to add something that is consistent in all slides, when you want something consistent in all slides, we add it to the master slide. Okay, okay, back. So looking at this, now these are divided. Usually in the master slide, you add something that you want to appear in each slide. I'm going to try it later on and see what was the problem with it. Okay, if I want the text here, for example, I want it in the middle in every title. I put it in the middle. Now this is, if I change this, okay, where's that alignment? I'm going to make it in the middle. Notice that each time I may change in the slide. But if I go to the slide master, I go to the view, okay? Okay, and I go to the view slide master and I change them there, then it would automatically change them to what I want. Suppose that this is the text I want. I go back to home. I want the text in the middle. I want it in the middle and up and down. I want it in the middle, left and right. I do this. Everything that I'm going to add, whenever I'm adding a different slide, it will automatically do the same, okay? Now, the text here, it's preferable that the text goes justified. What do we mean justified? If the text is justified, that means whenever I'm writing something, justify. Whenever I'm writing something, when I close this, it will appear always under each other. Do you see what it did? These were not on the same line. Now they are in the same line. This is called justification. Let me show you how do we do it. If it's not justified, suppose it's here. It's to the right. In English, you usually write in the left, so it's with the left. See each sentence is ending depending on the word and the enter in it. But if I make them justified, they become more consistent and more tidy, and I could read them better. Okay, justified is the type of text we usually use when we're using any scientific language. Okay, so in scientific presentations, write up for papers, for books, whatever, we usually use this slide. Okay, what else can we talk about the slides? For example, when you place a paper, I'm okay if you're going to put the title, okay? Say this is the title. If you want to use it as an image, once more, go to the layout where it allows you to use an image, okay? Okay. If I'm adding a new slide and I want the layout of the slide is a comparison, automatically what I've done in the master slide will appear here. Did you see? So I told to color this in two colors. I made the text in the middle, left and right, and above and below. So it automatically, whatever I add to the master slide, it will be applied to any new slide automatically. So this is the beauty of changing the master slide, not each slide alone. Okay. Now, all of this is a lot of work. We've gone through the work. Always place your references in the last one, yes. Place also what we call keywords. I always ask my students to place keywords. It's a specific slide where I use keywords. Why? Because I want to know what are the words used in this slide. Okay, so you will usually add lists of words. So for example, inlays, onlays, crown, post and core. So I know that I'm working with those. And you also add in any word from the GPT. Where do I get these words from the GPT? The glossary of prosthodontic terminology, and now it's the ninth edition. So go and check where is that. I sent it to you to the Telegram group, and get all of the keywords in GPT relevant to your presentation. Okay, so if I'm going to use an inlay, I want what I'm meaning is the inlay that is mentioned in GPT. And this is a beautiful thing you presented in your work, Dr. Osama, where you placed keywords in the GPT. You've defined the onlays and inlays, but you haven't defined everything else, okay? So usually put the keywords as you find them, your references the GPT. So it's not the word and its definition. In the slides, you use the word and its definition. This is excellent. But in the last key, the one before the references in the last slide, please place them just the title, the word itself. Don't place anything else, okay? So I'm not going to go just for the big titles, which are Crown, inlay, onlay, and poster core systems. I'm going to go even further. I'm going to go for example, cast, direct post, whatever word you find in the GPT relevant to your presentations, add them here. Okay, if it's an crown, any term you find in GPT relevant to crowns, place it here. The same thing for post and core, but same thing for inlays and onlays. So use the terminology very accurately, okay? You could, the second source where we get our keywords are from the MESH. Do you remember this? We talked about it last time, which is that the terminology used in scientific terminology, medical terminology, where they use the keywords from, and this is the one that you choose when you're publishing, okay? So these are the two sources of how to find keywords. We might later on record, if we are going to record something later on how to use GPT and how to use MESH. But you're asked, please, to go to the GPT. This is the first requirement for you. Go to the GPT and pick up the words relevant to your presentations. Always use this. This will do a very magical thing in your mind, because you have done a presentation. You went through a lot of information about a single or a couple or even a few things that you presented. When you go to the GPT and find the definition of it, and the exact terminology, and also even the spelling of it. When you find them in front of you, it will stick to your mind more accurately, especially if there are multiple terms confused together, especially if there are multiple synonyms confused together. So make sure that you always go to the GPT after you finished your presentation, okay? Now, you had questions in the break, and can you repeat them? Dr. Abdullah first.
يس دكتور. السؤال كان عندي انه دكتوره انه في عندنا الفانكشن تبع الديزاينر او
English, please.
الاوتوماتيك ديزايننج اللي بيكون عندنا بالباوربوينت.
Can
هسا
you
يعني
in
هو
English,
كفانكشن.
please? Can you make it
Yes.
in English, please?
Yes, in the break I asked about the automatic designer or the designer function in the
Here,
PowerPoint.
is it this one? This one?
No, it's not. No.
What is it?
I think it's in the newer versions of
Versions.
PowerPoint.
Yes, they allow you to add the merging images I talked about. It allows you to
Yes,
place some even mobile images that they can
yes,
be working beyond the background. This is more
yes,
advanced. What is your question
yes.
about them?
I didn't have a question, but يعني
Help a lot.
I like to mention
Good.
presence. That's
If
all.
any one of you have the latest edition of the PowerPoint, if we can allow you to open it, and we can record something if you would like me to do so.
Yes, I think دكتور أنا عندي تمام.
Okay, تمام. Okay.
أعمل
Dr. Osama, what?
shares.
Maybe next time. Let's leave it for another presentation.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Osama.
Yes, Doctor. I have a question about the amount of text in each slide. As you mentioned, it is recommended to place 3 to 4 sentences in each slide, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't that result in an increased number of slides in my presentation?
This is okay if you're not going to make it as a handout for students. As long as you're not using it as a handout, okay? You are presenting it for an audience, no matter how many slides you have. It's okay. As long as the slides are running smoothly, each slide is presenting specific points, but it's not only 3 sentences. You can have up to 5, but not more than that. And the sentences preferably 1-lined or 2 max. Okay? So try always to summarize. What else? Any question other than that, Osama? Okay, Dr. Majd, you had a question?
Yes, 2 questions.
Yes, please.
The first one, if I want to highlight something inside the text,
Yes.
Do you prefer highlight the most important words with bold font or just having them with different colors, such as in comparison slides?
Okay. Different colors can work if simply you do them in high contrast, okay? What do we mean by high contrast? This is a presentation you've chosen, Dr. Sama, okay? Automatically, it will place the colors that you can use on it here, okay? So look at this color, for example. If I remove this, can you see it? No, because the contrast it's good contrast with the text, but it's not good contrast with the background of the slide. Okay, suppose this was your background. Okay, let's go to the design. Suppose this was the background, okay? Or this one. Let me choose something with something dark. Okay, now you see it. So the idea, if I'm going to use colors, it should be in good contrast. But also another problem arises if somebody is color blinded. They will not see the contrast, okay? So once more, you might be presenting this. I would prefer bold and underline. These are the best to highlight the text, okay?
So you prefer bold and underline, not with color? Okay.
No.
Because I find some people annoyed by this coloring things.
Yes, it is annoying because especially if you're going to highlight more than one word and you're going to give different colors.
Yeah,
it becomes like a flash rainbow in front of you. So it doesn't work scientifically, I'm talking about. It's too much distraction in one slide. One thing also you can increase the size of the text, okay? In cases where I'm placing a sentence and I want to emphasize something that is not, let's say not, okay? I'm going to write here not, because this is an important word. Okay, don't turn that in. Okay, suppose the sentence has something with not in. If it was not something you really want to highlight and make sure that everybody understands, you go to capitalize. Here, capitalize everything, not, and underline it. This will show, or except, okay? If you're using the word except. So use capitalization with very dangerous words if there are any that you want to make sure, very sure that the audience knows about them. Okay, what else?
So for keywords such as better, not, except, you prefer also having them with a bigger case?
Yes, if it's not, if something, you were talking about something, I'm talking about things that don't run with the stream of your presentation. Suppose you're talking about advantages of something, and then something, make sure that not is present if you're going to shift to something negative, because previously in the flow, you were talking about advantages, okay? So it is an advantage, but not for children, for example, not for pregnant women, for example. So you want to highlight this because this part of your presentation doesn't go with the total overview or what you were presenting.
Okay.
So I'm talking about those not and except. Not every not and except I do that. No, it's
Yes,
something
okay.
where it's opposite to the flow of the presentation to make sure that the audience is not going and running with in the same stream, not noticing this limitation or this problem or this contraindication and so on.
Yes, okay. Second question.
Yes.
Regarding this slide, I usually do this, presenting a picture
one?
of the, yes. I usually do this, I mean, placing a photo or picture of the title of the paper that I want to present. I usually do this when I have a given topic and I only want to talk about one paper regarding this topic.
Mm-hmm.
So my question actually regarding the adjusting my slides. In the following slides, all the picture that I used belong to the same paper. So do I still need to cite these pictures?
Yes, yes. Because suppose you're doing 5 slides from the same paper, this footer should always be present in all of them. Okay? Simply, I'll just make it like this. Control C, copy it. Suppose this is another slide, not this one. I just simply Control V, it would automatically paste it in the same place. So if I'm adding like 5 slides or 6, okay, on the same topic,
Yeah.
I would say Control V here, Control V here, and Control V. Automatically, it has the same format, the same position, the same place each time. Okay?
Okay.
Any other
So I
questions?
place them at the end of the slide, not
Yes,
below
not as an image.
each
No,
picture.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, as
Okay.
a slide. What else?
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes, please.
If I want to add a systematic review, for example, or a specific study, you said that we need to place a peak of the systematic review or the intervention, the sample or the population and result and conclusion.
Pico, yes.
Yes. How can I add all these information in the same slide without being so crowded, without making the slide so crowded?
I would advise you to do the following. Okay, let me say, this is the first slide. This is the systematic review 1 to C. I would say C, Control C. Put the image because the image will sometimes give you highlights about the slide. I mean, when you see it, you remember it, okay? Especially if you have the PDFs of it, okay? And automatically, each systematic review you're going to talk about, place the Pico. Pico. Okay, then population, then the I, the intervention, the C, the comparison, and the O, which is the final outcome, okay? So once you do that, always you put this slide as the beginning slide, and then later on do the other slides that have the text. Leave this out, okay? And put only the title of the slide, the clinical longevity of intracoronal. You also cannot place all of the title. You can just add something about it, okay? Or say study number 1 or systematic review number 1, and then put the text beneath it. So this is where we begin. We always begin with the image of the slide, with the Pico of the systematic review, and then you go into the text, okay? Following text. Any other question? Okay, let us move to another subject where I find it fun and I found it beautifully working, and I would love to share it with you. Going to the slideshow maker. Okay, share. The new systems with AI present us with a huge amount of AI slideshow makers, okay? They work as slides and you can copy and paste them and download them as a PowerPoint, okay? So I've used this one. I found it interesting and I placed advancements in the intracoronal restoration, but to be more specific, what did I do? I added the name. It's not allowing me to change. Let me try. Inlays, onlays. So I'm specifying which intracoronal things I want. Okay. The number of slides here is 20 for maximum. The language is English. I want an image, placeholder image. This is an image they make automatically, but it just preserves a place for your image. So you're the one adding images. If you include references if available, please add that. Okay, so use these two and make a presentation. But let's see what it would do. Okay, so it's okay. The number of slides, I forgot them. Let me do the maximum 20. Okay, so it's there's searching the title. And in the title, definitely I will change the title, for example, later on. But the idea is I want them to specifically look for these stuff, okay? They need some time for creating. Now, if I'm creating them without images, it will be much faster, okay? If I'm creating them with images, they will be slow like this. Let us move from here to here. AI slide generator. Let's go. You will find multiple of these. You can try and pick from them whatever you like, and some of them ask you to put your content. Now this one that I'm working with today, it is the one that picks out the content, okay? So it works with artificial intelligence, and it allows me to give even a text, okay? What is the good thing about this? For example, in our case, we were talking about advancements. For example, here they chose to talk a little bit about the evolution and how they become working. Okay, so what was the evolution of these inlays or node-lays? For example, this slide, I'll remove it later on when we finish. Okay, the benefits of endocrowns, the post and core advantages, what are the material used for intracoronal illustration? Some of the slides I would like, some of them I will not like them. Okay, I will not use them. But the idea is they save me like a load of work to do. Okay, I'm going to go and download them. Okay, and the theme, I'm going to use plain. I'm going to use PowerPoint, download as PowerPoint, and go and wait for it till it appears in my downloads. Okay, I'm going to my downloads. Just in a moment, I'm going to open them and show you them in opened. Okay. Let's go and share the open slides. Okay, so they have saved me like 50 to 60% of the work. Not only that, it also reminds me to add slides I might have missed on. Okay, so for example, in your presentation, you didn't talk about minimal invasive techniques. For example, precision fit, you didn't talk about it. Maybe it's relevant, maybe it's not. But actually what it does, it actually saves us a lot of time. Okay, you can use these, but notice that you are the one responsible for filling everything in, okay? So if you find a slide that you like about it, okay? So say this slide, suppose this slide is relevant to our presentation and I like it, I can leave it, but still I have to go through and read every bit and everything in it. And also if I need to find a reference for what is written here, I should not add anything AI generated unless I'm totally sure of it. And how do I know I'm sure about it? Because I have a reference for it. So what is written here should be present in a textbook, in a paper, or in multiple papers, and so on. So you have to add them. So this is just something that helps you, okay? Something that helps you with your work, okay? It gives you a place for your images. These images can be replaced. You might talk about the cost, something, a new material that is cheap, training. For example, we didn't talk about education. Maybe it has something relevant with education, and so on. So the idea, it might remind you. And also, look at here, it gives you some of the references you might have missed on. Okay, notice that this presentation is far away from our presentation and the topics that I placed for you. But at least what did it do? It presented you with some work that you can work on. If I enable it to edit it, okay, it's like a placeholder. It told me to talk about some subjects. It reminded me of something. It might have worked with this. And also, what did it do? It allows me to place images and so on. I could change my design. I could add colors in. I could add titles, choose a title or a type of presentation that I want, change my design, change the transitions, insert images, whatever I work with. So this is a time saver. And I wanted to share it with you. And this is what I wanted to say today about how to prepare presentations. We have lots more to talk about how to make presentations, and in the next time we will be talking more in other lectures. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you soon in other subjects. Thank you very much.